Hi, thank you so much for taking your time to meet with me today. I truly appreciate you being willing to share your experiences. My name is Garrett, and I'm conducting this interview as a part of sports psychology project focusing on exploring the cognitive strategies that athletes use in preparation and during competition. The purpose of this interview is to better understand how you think about your performances, how you mentally prepare, and what strategies you use to handle challenges such as pressure, confidence, focus, and motivation. There are no right or wrong answers. I am simply interested in learning about your personal experiences and perspectives. With your permission, I will be recording this conversation so I can accurately reflect on what you share later. The recording will only be used for a class project. If at any point you feel uncomfortable or would prefer not to answer a question, please feel free to let me know. This should be more of a conversation than a formal interview, so I'm going to ask follow-up questions sometimes just to better understand your answers, and I appreciate you taking your time.
Of course.
Okay, so first question. Being an athlete and being someone who plays a sport at a university at a high level, what are things that you love about your sport, whether it's the position or role that you're in, that you just find compelling and that you enjoy working for?
Well, I love playing my sport, which is why I play it at this level. So I love to play the sport just for it in itself, but I also love being on a team and being part of something like bigger than myself. I like the discipline and structure that it gives my life. Practices, lifts, just something to do that keeps me active and motivated. And I like just hanging out, playing the sport I love with my friends. And yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Do you feel like culture plays a big role in team success and like the camaraderie between teammates and coaches? And
definitely, I've been on teams that are successful that don't have great camaraderie, but I think the better that is, that's like you're bringing your team to the next level.
Yeah,
is having that family like mentality.
Yeah,
or just not even mentality, but like relationship.
Yeah,
with the people that you're on the field with.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, being able to compete with one another too, like internally, is also really, really important.
Mm-hmm. It helps the morale. Everyone, you can go to anyone at any time if you need help with something. I think it's just being a unit as a whole.
And in terms of competition, in which one that you performed well in, indicate how you felt mentally in order to prepare yourself for that event, or things that you do to just prepare yourself in general. And what do you specifically think or say to kind of keep yourself on track and get yourself ready to compete at a high level?
I think thinking of games that I performed well, I guess you never really know how you're going to perform when you're going into a game. You kind of do what you think you need to do to get ready. So for me, for lacrosse, I do wall ball, so I have my stick in my hand before the game. That helps me feel better about my abilities in the game, and I feel like it makes both a physical, like it actually warms me up, and a mental, like I'm more ready difference. Music is always huge. I feel like a lot of people listen to music to hype themselves up. I don't have a specific song or anything. I'm not super superstitious, but I'm a little stitious. But I think you just prepare the best you can, and as long as you know that you're trusting the work that you do, that you put into practice every week, and watching film, reading the scout, doing those things, I feel like there's nothing else you can do, and you can even do all those things and go into a game and perform poorly. But it's just sometimes it's your day, sometimes it's not. So I think when it comes to preparation, as long as you're doing what you know works, that's all you can do, and just hope that you perform when time comes.
Yeah, and you touched on it a bit, right? Performing poorly. In circumstances where that may happen, do you think, obviously nobody approaches a game wanting to perform anything less than what they're expected, but do you feel like there are times where something is just different or off prior to a game? Like, do you feel there's differences in how you are prepared, or is it kind of the same routine either way, like you mentioned? And Would you say that there are things that you do to specifically get yourself back into tune if you are having a bad game and like bounce back from that?
I don't know if there's anything you can prepare differently. Maybe something's off with your routine. Like I don't get a chance to get on the wall, or I guess sometimes people just like feel funky.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you feel funky before a game. You're like you have a bad feeling about it, nerves and whatnot. But that could indicate that you might not play well. But I think it's more about seizing the moment when it comes to you rather than the preparation. Because if you do all the preparation right, unless you're just like you were sick that week and odd circumstances happen. But I was like the guy from the Olympics, like he did all the preparation, he did it great in the team event, and then he just got to the moment and just didn't perform. I don't think he did anything differently. Yeah. It's just sometimes it's just not. It just something doesn't click.
Just not your day.
But I think when you're it's really hard when you're like in a game and you do something that you know is wrong, that you know you messed up, but and it's really hard to come back from that all the times. But I think what helps me, I always tell myself, you have to control like what you can control in the game. Yeah. And so for me, I always tell myself, play hard and play smart. Because that's all things I can't control. Like I can't control the other team. If I drop a pass, I can't control that. I can control how hard I work to get it back. Yeah. I can control where I pass, when I pass, like playing smart. Those playing hard and playing smart are the two things that I know I can do. Yeah. So that's what I tell myself before game and during the game. So if I do something stupid and I'm like, I'm not playing smart. Yeah. And I have to remind myself, you can play hard and you can play smart. I also have to remind myself like the mistakes you make, like that's not you. Like you know that's not you. That's not the player you are. That's not you know better. Yeah. So I tell myself that just do what you know you can do. Yeah. I think you have to just
stay in that lane.
Yeah.
People say control the controllables. Yeah. Yeah. Control what you can, and what else you can't will dictate itself based on how hard you work. And in terms of stress before a competition or a big game, you mentioned the Olympic guy who the moment may be too big, or just in a situation where he felt like he just got in his own head or was mentally unprepared that specific day for whatever reason. How do you deal with that, and what strategies, if any, do you have to kind of just remind yourself that like you're supposed to be in this moment?
Yeah, I think confidence is like huge. Obviously, doing things that you know that you can execute. So like I feel like I like to pass. Like if I'm not having, I don't know, if something's wrong, like just someone to pass with. Like maybe in other circumstances, just like I don't know, taking a few foul shots or something, like while you have the chance, just to regain that confidence. Like you know what you're doing. Like this, you do it every day. Just going back to simple stuff that's like reminds you that you can play this sport. Like this is what you do. And I think that helps with stressing out about performance.
Yeah. That makes sense. Putting yourself back in the routine.
But like before the game stress?
Yeah, like a little bit before a big game. Like you're warming up and you're feeling kind of pressure.
Yeah.
I guess you mentioned
I think
strong teammates and
that's what I would say. I think you really have to feed individual sports must be so hard. I think you really have to feed off the energy of the people around you. Like if you're stressed and you're in your head, just be excited for everyone else around you, and then they're all excited for you and they have confidence in you. And I think that kind of builds off each other. I feel like that actually helps a lot. Yeah, it's like before the game, moment and too. It also kind of takes you out of your own head, like being like talking and being with the people around you, like being hype about. Like our team, we do like a dance circle before every game. So like just dancing and like singing and hyping people up, it like takes you out of your head and kind of helps you.
Yeah, kind of puts you back in that space.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, and then on top of that, certain goals that you may have for a season, right? Do you think they're more outcome based, like team success, or do you have more performance goals? Whereas like you want to do X, Y, and Z over the course of a specific season, or is it a little bit of both? You kind of create your own little bit of anything.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think obviously you want the team to do well, but you want to be contributing to that. So I think it starts. I don't know which one you would think starts first, because sometimes I get the feeling like when I'm doing bad in a game, it's like, all right, take me off the field so that the team can do their best thing. You know what I mean? But you never want to be in that situation. You want to be doing good, and you want your team to be doing good.
Yeah.
So I think, I guess the question is kind of like, would you rather have a bad game and your team wins, or you have a good game and your team loses?
Yeah.
It's one way to look at it, I suppose.
Yeah, I find that oftentimes team success usually, depending on who you are, is usually contributed through you. But I also feel like there are certain situations where, like you said, it could just not be your day, right? And then
I've been there.
Situations like that, it's more important to rely back on those outcome goals of being like, a win is a win no matter how it's made or how it's come to. So
I think you have to. I think you start with the performance goals, because if you perform, hopefully the outcome follows.
Dictates itself.
But if you're falling short of your performance goals, then you try to support the team's goals and you accept that.
Yeah. And then in terms of confidence, you touched on it a little bit, but rebuilding that confidence in a quick setting, whereas like say you're in a game, something goes wrong. You mentioned telling yourself to just, work hard and be a smart player. Right? But like in situations like that, how difficult is it to just even remind yourself that in a moment?
It's extremely difficult. That happened to me literally this weekend. After I made like mistakes that I was like, what am I doing? I went to my teammate on the side. She was just like, you're in your head. I was like, yeah, I know. And a teammate will give you a good reminder, but then it's all comes back to you. I talked to my teammate. She helped me out. I tried to immerse myself in cheering for my teammates. What actually helped me was going back to the beginning of the game, where I had confidence and I felt good, and putting myself back in that mindset, like just scrapping it. Like this is just like the beginning of the game. You made those mistakes. That's not who you are. That doesn't define you. You are the same person you were at the start of the game, where you had all the confidence going into it.
Yeah.
So I think that reminder, a lot of people. I thought about like writing it on my stick, like to see like PHPS. Stupid, but like just like a visual reminder. I know a lot of my teammates, they like do a reset cue, like after every goal scored, they like flip their stick or something like that to help them reset.
Yeah. Or like when you guys lift your sticks in the air.
Yeah. Or doing that and telling myself, I am smart. I am capable.
Yep. You made it here for a reason.
Yeah, like yeah, and also like passing, that kind of helps. Just like simple stuff.
Yeah. Getting back in that routine of knowing you can do it. During competition and like those big games, right? Distractions, and like prior to the games, like you were mentioning before we talked about a senior night and how like you guys even changed the day of a senior night to not have the opponent know or not have it be a distraction for a big game, right? But those are inevitable. You're always going to remember that, the value of what you're playing or what you're partaking in. It's kind of difficult as human to kind of push that to the side, right? So with techniques, what would you recommend to someone, or what is something that you do to remind yourself in high pressure moments, like this is the same, like I'm here, it's nothing I haven't done before, right? Like how do you steer clear of those distractions and push them to the side?
I think it just comes back to focusing on yourself, I guess. Doing the routine that you do before every game. Trusting your work, like just dialing in on yourself, and I think that helps from distracting from other things. Just thinking, I did what I can do.
Yeah.
And just before a game, putting your earbuds in, like doing whatever you need to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that helps.
I get you. Well, I appreciate you for your time, and I hope you have a successful season, and I hope you don't have many poor performances and can stay ahead of those and
Thank you.
distract yourself from those
Thank you.
big
I will
pressure
try.
situations.
I will
Yeah,
try.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thank you.